The next type of problem that we're going to practice is converting from moles of one substance to moles of a different substance. In order to do this, we will need a balanced equation. So here's the equation for the formation of ammonia, which is one of the main ingredients in Windex. You should have balanced this equation on a previous slide. If you balanced it correctly, you would know that the coefficient is going to be a 1 in front of the nitrogen, and you don't need to put the 1, you can leave it blank, a 3 in front of the hydrogen, and a 2 in front of the NH3 or ammonia. So we're going to need these coefficients because they are also considered to be a ratio of the moles or molecules of one substance to another substance in an equation. This means that I need 1 mole of nitrogen and 3 moles of hydrogen in order to produce 2 moles of NH3. However, in this case, the example says that I'm reacting 4.95 moles of hydrogen, not 3. And I want to know how many moles of NH3 can be produced. So I'm going to start with my known over here, which is going to be 4.9, that's too small, 4.95 moles of hydrogen. And then I'm also going to set up my units for my answer. I'm looking for moles of NH3. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and put my units for my answer, which will be moles of NH3. So I'm starting with moles of hydrogen. I'm converting to moles of NH3. I've already set up the formula here for you, but I'm going to rewrite it below. So we're going to start with moles of A. A is the substance that we know something about. Think about it as going from A to B. So A is the one that we know something about. That's 4.95 moles of hydrogen. And up until this point, we didn't always write the substance after the moles, but for this conversion, it's going to be really helpful if you write the substance so that you can make sure that your formula is set up correctly. I'm going to multiply by the ratio of substance B over substance A. So in this case, substance B is the one that I'm looking for, and that's going to be moles of NH3. And substance A is going to be the substance I know something about, and that's going to be moles of H2. So notice that moles of H2 is a given. Moles of H2 then goes on the bottom of the ratio. Moles of NH3 goes on the top, and that's also the units for our answer. You're going to see that pattern each time. The units for the given are going to be on the bottom of the ratio. The units for the answer are going to be on the top of the ratio. That's because in math, when you see something on the top and the bottom of an equation, you can often cancel them out. And what we're trying to cancel out are the units of our given, so moles of hydrogen. What am I going to put above and below this ratio? On the top, I'm going to put the coefficient for NH3. On the bottom, I'm going to put the coefficient for H2. So the 2 for NH3 on the top, the 3 for H2 on the bottom. And then I'm going to multiply across. 4.95 times 2 is going to give me 9.90. And then I'm going to divide that by 3, and I'm going to get 3.3. Maybe check my math. So if I start with 4.95 moles of hydrogen, and I use the ratio that I have from the balanced equation, I can find that I will end up with 3.3 moles of NH3. Try the next problem yourself.